Hey, everybody. Lieutenant Joe here. Now, I'm recording today for two of our podcasts. Okay. We have the Blue Heart podcast, right, that you see over here. We also have Hope is Not a Tactic, the school safety and security podcast. And the reason that I'm recording this for both, even though I don't have the sign up for Hope is Not a Tactic, is because my guests today have a very important message for everybody out there that's any kind of a state worker, county worker, municipal worker. If you have a job in one of these government agencies in New Jersey, I have some representatives you can see in the corner. They're Medical Essential Diagnostics. Right, that is a company that I've come to know quite well over the last couple of years. They are big supporters of school safety, big supporters of law enforcement, really an awesome company. And when I found out about them, I learned what they do. I said, this is something I need to push out there as best as I can, because there's great benefits to you if you have any one of those jobs, your first responder, a teacher, anybody like that. So I'm going to bring on a couple of people. First, I'm going to bring on Brianna, who is, she's a manager there. She runs things. She's just like one of these superstar young people that runs everything, right? She's really brilliant. And then we have Chief Duff is going to come on and tell you his personal story, so you can relate this to your life and how this can help you, because there's really no cost to you here, but there's huge amounts of benefits. So I'm going to bring Brianna in first. Brianna, how are you today? Can you unmute yourself?
Well,
there you go.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
All right, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for being here. I know you heard my little bit of an intro there, but medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. You can see they're running along on the ticker down below there. That's how you get in touch with them. But Brianna can give you more information. Brianna, could you tell us what Medical Essential Diagnostics is, who's covered by it, and how do you use the program?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about our program. So, as you guys know, Medical Essential Diagnostics, we've worked with Joe for a long time now, and we basically provide a really in-depth, comprehensive annual physical to, like Joe said, basically anyone who is a federal, state, township, county employee. Is eligible to take part in the program. So it's called the Save My Life program. It basically aims to pick up, non-symptomatic health issues that you might not really feel or see going on in your body. And our main goal is to provide that preventative health care to those who are entitled to it, and make sure that we can, pick up any issues before they get too serious, and, actually save some lives, which the other guest on our podcast today, retired Chief Duff, he will go into his personal story and how, it did indeed save his life. And that's just one of the many examples that the program has really helped in the first responder community, in municipalities, in, the state of New Jersey. So really excited to be here today talking about it. Basically, we offer a series of 11 plus testings that you can get done in one appointment. It's tailored to your heart and your lungs. We do everything from EKGs to stress tests. We now offer an MCT patch monitor. So it's a take-home test that you can wear. It's a little heart monitor that you wear for 48 hours, and it detects any, abnormalities and your rhythms and things like that. We offer a full blood panel, urine panel. We do chest x-rays. We do lung function tests, blood circulation tests, pretty much anything you can think of to give you a really good picture of your health. It is covered by insurance. So we take all state, all private insurances. The only ones that we're not currently accepting are Medicaid, Obamacare, and VA. Besides that, fully covered. We try to make it as accessible as possible with our 5 clinics throughout the state of New Jersey. They are located right now in Princeton, Wall, Marlton, and Englewood, and Morristown. So we're pretty spread out. And to actually get our testing done is pretty simple. You can find us at www.medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. Go to our little scheduling tab, and you can schedule your own appointment, or you can fill out a form and have our scheduling team call you, and they can set you up with an appointment. The cool thing is that you can also bring up to two family members on your insurance plan as well to get tested. They just have to be 18 and over. So we extend to families as well. And like I said, the testing itself, it's a one-stop shop to get checked up, and takes about 2 to 3 hours, and then you have that, peace of mind for the year. So yeah, that's about what we do. Do you have any questions for me, Joe?
Well, that's pretty amazing, because I got to tell you, first of all, if you're in a state municipal government in the state of New Jersey, and we're all working and we all have these pensions, and what we want to do in reality is we want to beat up the pension as long as we can. You want to serve healthy throughout your career. And then when you get done, you want to be able to enjoy that pension and all the hard work that you did. And these health issues that jump up out of nowhere are shocking to people. I personally know quite a few people that had no problems one day, and then they found out something and it was life-threatening, or it took their lives. And the reality is they could have found out about it sooner had they gone for testing. When you're healthy and when you're young, you feel like, nothing ever affects me. I'm good. I feel good. I'm great. And then one day you have a pain somewhere, or you got a funny cough, or you got some kind of other problem, and you find out that you should have looked into this years ago. And how do you look into it? You go to the doctor and you get testing done. Well, a lot of people, I don't have the right insurance. I don't have the right money. I don't have the right time. Medical Essential Diagnostics here, they take your insurance and that's it. You're not just throwing thousands of dollars at them, and you'll have that information. And like Brianna said, you can bring two people in your family with you that are over 18 years old. How many times do we hear about the 19-year-old kid on the basketball court drops down and dies, and they had some kind of a situation that they didn't know about? And that's the biggest problem. When we don't know about these things, that's what runs up to get you. So medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. I'm telling you, my law enforcement friends and everybody else in the first responder community, or anyone else who works for a state or local government, this is a huge benefit to you. It'll help you stay alive and healthy to enjoy all the things we work for. All right. So I'm going to bring in Chief Robert Duff. He's going to tell us his personal story about this. So put yourself in his shoes when you hear this story. Chief, how are you?
Good morning, Lieutenant Joe. Thanks for having me on. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, that's great. Chief, where were you, Chief?
I worked in North Hanover Township in Burlington County. It's right outside McGuire Air Force Base.
Outstanding. And I understand you have a story to tell here in reference to health and MED, Medical Essential Diagnostics. So let's hear it.
Yes. First and foremost, I'd just like to say, first responders faced extreme physical and emotional stress over their careers. And I worked as a police officer for 26 years, and I recently retired a year and a half ago. I like to just thank them all for their dedicated and professionalism and their service. So it was back in January of 2023 when Medical Essential Diagnostics came to the Burlington County Police Chiefs meeting for our first meeting of the new year, and they made their presentation and explained this awesome program. And as I sat there in the auditorium that day and I listened to the presentation, I felt that this is definitely something that I needed to get done. I have a lot of other health related things that are hereditary, like the cholesterol, the hypertension, the type 2 diabetes, all inherited from my family. And I did have an uncle that passed away from a heart attack at the age of 53. And that's how old I was at the time when I was at the presentation. And that morning I signed up and I went off to the Marlton Clinic on about February 1st. And I was there for about 2.5 hours. I went straight through all the testing that Brianna had explained. And it went real quick. The testing was like 2.5 hours. They kept you moving. There was not a lot of downtime. The staff was friendly. I got to sit down and meet with a doctor, discuss my family medical history, my medical history. And before I know it, I was out the door in 2.5 hours. So you get your results back in about 2 weeks through telemedicine call from the doctor. and they send you an encrypted email with all your results on, so it's protected, and you go through your results. Well, when I got that telemed appointment, the doctor on staff there said that they noticed there was an abnormality with my stress test that day. That my heart would elevate to the proper exercise rate when I was on the treadmill exercising, but when I stepped off the treadmill, my heart would not slow down fast enough. It would not recover. It was still beating as if I was actually still on the treadmill. So she said that's raising, some concern, and we recommend that you go see a cardiologist and go in for some further testing. So that's what I did. I met with a family cardiologist that took care of my dad for a number of years. He had peripheral artery disease in his legs, so I was prone to the hereditary stuff. But the doctor said the only way that we're going to find out is if we go in and do a cardiac catheterization, where they go in with a camera and look in your heart. So the morning of my catheterization, which was February 22nd, like basically almost 3 weeks after I had the initial screening at Medical Essentials, the vascular surgeon that morning said, "Listen, Rob, we're going in there to see if there's any blockages in your heart." And then it dawned on me, that was the first time that I heard the word blockage. And then I started to get a little bit freaked out. I wasn't putting two and two together what they were really going into my heart to look for. So he said, if they do find anything, we're going to put a stent in, and we'll get you all straightened out. So I said, okay, let's go for it. And I went through the cath. And as I was being wheeled out of the cath lab that morning, the vascular surgeon's, "Hey, Rob," he goes, no stents today. And I immediately thought, well, that's great. They didn't find any blockage. But then in his next breath, he says, "You have multiple blockages in your heart. Too many to do stents. You're going to need cardiac bypass surgery." And I was like totally taken back. I was asymptomatic, no chest pains, no shortness of breath, no fatigue. I was still actively working the road, backing my guys up as a police officer, day to day, just going 100%. Never had one symptom in the world. And now I'm being told 3 weeks after the screening that I had to have a quadruple bypass. I had a total of 8 blockages in my heart. I had 2 80% blockages of a main artery, a 90% blockage of a branch, 2 60%, a 40, a 20, and mild blockage on all different parts of my heart. I was an absolute ticking time bomb, and I could have checked out at any time. My cardiologist even told me, he says, if you hadn't had this screening done, I wouldn't be in this chair speaking with you today. He goes, you would have checked out at any time. So on March 15th, I was dropped off at Our Lady of Lourdes by my family, and I was on the operating table for close to 8 hours. I had a successful quadruple bypass surgery at the age of 53. And it's all thankful to meds, because without meds, like I said, I wouldn't be here. But it doesn't really even stop there, because that made my family members get checked. My younger brother and my younger sister, they checked out fine. My older brother, not so good. He was having some symptoms, but he was ignoring them because he was a cancer survivor and he'd been through chemo and the doctors, and he was done with it. But I finally convinced him to go to the cardiologist. Well, the same cardiologist sent him in for a cath 8 weeks after mine, 8 weeks after my surgery, and his heart was just as bad, if not worse, than mine was. And they never let him leave the hospital. They put him in an ambulance and took him right down to Our Lady of Lourdes, and they had the same operation by the same surgeon in the same operating room, 8 weeks to the date, quadruple bypass. So this program saved 2 lives.
It's an absolutely amazing story.
Yeah.
And I think when I hear it, what I've heard time and time and time again from people that go to Medical Essential Diagnostics is you didn't have any symptoms, right? You said your brother had a little, but you didn't have any, and you were
nothing.
a walking time bomb. And for all you young people out there that walk around, I got nothing. My father, who was a healthy guy, he died of a massive heart attack at the age of 37. And a year later, his brother, at the age of 36, died of a massive heart attack. So me and my brother have been scared to death our whole lives. And we go for screenings. We make sure we're okay, and we are. But they had no symptoms. 36 years old and 37 years old, and they're gone. Chief Duff would have been gone. You might be gone. You don't want to leave your family. Go get screened. It's a benefit that you have. And I think it's amazing that you would come on here and tell us your story. And that is why I'm putting it out here, for you to listen, hear what I'm saying. Enjoy your career. Do not leave your family behind. And it's very simple. You're going to get screened and find out that you're great. Nothing. There's no problem. That's fantastic. Or find out you have a problem in time to fix it, right? You don't want to find out at the end you have a problem. Good friend of mine, he was a principal of a school where I was working as a director, and he retired. He was 60 years old, healthy as a horse, jogged, ran. The guy was a beautiful shape. And he says, we're going to do traveling, but first I'm going to go get a full physical. And that revealed stage 4 colon cancer. And he was gone in 7 months. Had no idea he had it. So my point to you, to all of you, and the reason we're doing this program, go get screened, right? I can say it 1,000 times. Now, do they have screening for colds? Chief, are you okay there? What do you got?
Yeah,
there?
I'm good.
You're right. Sneezing. Okay.
Sorry.
Brianna, how can people get in touch with you to set up an appointment? How hard is that? How long does it take, etc.?
Yeah, so to set up an appointment, like I said, you can go to our website, medicalessentialdiagnostics.com, click on our scheduling tab, and you can either self-schedule for yourself. Our clinics usually have availability in as soon as 2 weeks, or you can get scheduled by our team, and that would prompt you to just fill out a form, put in your info, and our scheduling team would give you a call, see which clinic you want to come out to, and take down all your information for you. So very simple, 2 weeks for an appointment, 2 weeks for your results. We got you covered.
That's outstanding. So you see on the ticker at the bottom here, you see this? medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. If you want to email Lieutenant Joe, it's joe@pangarotraining.com. Give me your stuff and I'll pass it on to the team over there. Go get yourself screened. I want to thank you both for coming on, Chief. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're healthy. All right.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you for having me, Lieutenant.
Oh, of course, and for everybody else out there that's been saved, and I know, Brianna, you got a ton of stories of people who came in and had no idea they had a problem, and they found out and saved themselves. So thank you to what you do, and thank you to medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. All right, everybody, we'll catch up with you down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.